Hey loves, happy Thursday and happy Jupiter Day. Welcome to your daily drip for December 11th, 2025. Now today is one of those days that kind of feels like a big inhale before we push forward. Of course, we're still in Sagittarius season, and when I cast this chart, Sagittarius was rising at 1 degree and 27 minutes, and baby, that is Sagittarius energy in the Sagittarius decan and the Sagittarius Dawad. So that's 3 scoops of Sag, full fire, full motion, full new chapter, who this energy. But before we even get into these placements, let me say this. This is a day that is screaming for movement. It's screaming for truth, and it's definitely screaming for expansion. But it's going to get it by showing something you needed to see. Are you ready? Well, in the first house, we've got Venus at 13 degrees and 21 minutes of Sagittarius, the Sun at 19 degrees, 39 minutes of Sag, Juno at 23 degrees and 28 minutes of Sag, and Mars at 27 degrees and 5 minutes of Sag. So let's talk about the Sun first. The Sun in Sagittarius energy is definitely giving, but the undercurrent today is that it's in the Aries decan and Cancer Dawad. So imagine a spotlight kind of trying to shine light on 2 different things at once. So we've got what? Your drive, your purpose, your independence, which would be that Aries undercurrent, and your emotional responsibility and your internal reactions, which is that Cancer energy. That's a square by nature. So it indicates, of course, a little friction, a little, okay, I want this, but why do I feel that? This is the final day the Sun will hold this combination. So if you feel like something is rising up for you emotionally or instinctively, it's because the cosmos are intentionally hitting that button. We've also got Mars in late Sagittarius. So whenever Mars hits these later Sag degrees, it wants to say the thing, do the thing, cut the thing, expose the thing. This is bluntness. There's speed, there's truth, but this does not come wrapped in satin. Remember, Mars is easing away from the square that it was in with Saturn, so you may feel like you're finally coming out of that pushing against the wall energy. The frustration can still linger, but the gridlock of it all is easing. Thank God. Now, Vesta is at 13 degrees and 29 minutes of Capricorn. This is devotion. This is dedication. This is the question, who or what are you keeping the light on for? And with the North Node sextile Vesta and the South Node trine it, both within 25 minutes, the message here is quite loud. Your devotion absolutely cannot remain where your destiny is not leading you. Repeat, your devotion cannot absolutely remain where your destiny is not leading you. You can't hold a sacred flame for someone or something that keeps walking away from the light. Felt. Pluto is at 2 degrees and 8 minutes of Aquarius, and Pallas is nearby at 16 degrees and 53 minutes of Aquarius. This is pattern recognition kind of on steroids. This is see the bigger picture whether you want it to or not. This is like the mind saying, let me just show you what's actually been happening. With the moon later interacting with Aquarius energy through the Aquarius Dawad, this theme is definitely going to pop up throughout the day. Now, the 4th house is packed, and it matters because the part of fortune is here. The North Node, Saturn, and Neptune now direct at 29 degrees and 22 minutes of Pisces. As we remember, Neptune went direct yesterday morning, meaning that fog that used to sit in your external life is now beginning to return. But you're not stepping back into that same fog you left, are you? Hopefully you aren't. You're stepping into truth that has been marinating. I guess that's the way we could put it, while Neptune was retrograde. So, Neptune retrograde was internalizing illusion. Neptune direct needs to externalize clarity. Now, at Saturn. Saturn today is Pisces energy in the Scorpio decan and the Capricorn Dawad. This is investigative. This is karmic. This is strip it down to the motive ass energy. This is what foundation are you actually building on? If Neptune does the dissolving, Saturn does the structuring. And together they say you cannot rebuild using dreams that were lies. What was real about what you dreamt of doing or what you wanted internally? You have to figure that out. There's a truth you may not want to touch, but at this time, you just can't avoid it. Now, Ceres is at 30 degrees and 39 minutes of Aries. Chiron's retrograde at 22 degrees and 49 minutes of Aries. Chiron is in the Sagittarius decan and Capricorn Dawad of Aries. So that's identity, meaning, and responsibility kind of all tangled together. The question here becomes, where's your sense of self still tied to an old wound? Where are you trying to prove something because you once felt powerless? Chiron is building up to a square with Jupiter, so themes of worth, validation, family, nourishment, and emotional expansion are all being pressed. And I guess you could kind of think of it like you've outgrown the wound, but the wound hasn't realized it yet. Now, Uranus is retrograde still at 28 degrees and 38 minutes of Taurus. So this is still energy within the Capricorn decan and Aries Dawad. This is stubborn disruption. I like to think of it as internal earthquakes that are full of aftershocks. This can be sleepless nights with breakthrough ideas, your mind being so busy you can't settle yourself, your body feeling over flooded with sensations. And honestly, I hope for a lot of people, it'll be old habits cracking open because this is showing up in the 6th house. So everything about Uranus here says, if you won't change willingly, the conditions will change around you and force change out of you. Now, in the 8th house, you've got the vertex at 15 degrees and 22 minutes of Cancer, Jupiter retrograde at 23 degrees and 42 minutes of Cancer. I am getting from this a lot of emotional faded points, family revelations, old stories that resurface so that you can stop playing caretaker for everybody's wounds but your own. This Jupiter retrograde has literally felt eternal because it's reviewing the emotional contracts we inherited, and my God, is it doing it in a big way. Now, today, the moon is still in Virgo. We started the day off with it at 14 degrees and 53 minutes, which places it in the Capricorn decan and the Aquarius Dawad. So, we could look at this emotionally today. There's a serious, practical, focused, maybe a little detached tone to everything. This is a day rife with watching behaviors instead of listening to the words. So the moon is sitting right near the south node. So you could say today is an emotional release day, one for emotional accountability and also clarity. Now, Lilith is at 28 degrees and 57 minutes of Scorpio. Mercury's at 29 degrees and 24 minutes of Scorpio. These two are separating from their conjunction today, but the effect is still blazing. It really is. So please be aware. This is the energy of taboo thoughts. Okay. Shadow truths. Unfiltered speech. That's getting right to the core. It's cutting right to the core. Again, as has been the energy over the past few days, this also gives secrets surfacing, maybe some emotional purging and conversations that you didn't plan to have, okay? But damn it, they're happening anyway. And remember, Uranus is also opposing Mercury, okay? So the emotional or mental truth that jumps out could feel sudden, shocking, or maybe even oddly liberating, which we love. Now, Neptune is trine Mercury, so intuition is speaking clearly. Messages can come through in so many different ways. Slips of tongue, symbolism, dreams, or just suddenly just knowing what you know. Truth from your subconscious will tend to rise. The nodes are square Venus, and this is something that was highlighted yesterday and stronger, and we're moving past the emotional breaking point. Something almost, I guess you could say, snapped yesterday, be it a contract, a dynamic, a belief, and now there's a new chapter beginning, especially when it comes to Venus things. Black Moon Lilith is opposing Uranus. This is the raw emotion meeting sudden disruption. Truth is breaking out of repression, and God, that has to feel liberating for so many people. Black Moon Lilith is also trine Neptune, okay? So spiritual clarity about your shadow should come up today or be possible. Beautiful, painful honesty. I was just having a conversation about how the world does not like honesty, and I'm not talking about when people are just completely rude with it. I mean, even when people try their damnedest to speak it as kindly as possible, there's just an aversion to honesty these days. So sad. Now, there are some nodal aspects to Vesta. So it's like devotion is being rerouted, energy is shifting, purpose is clarifying. Okay, we have to know what we want to dedicate ourselves to. Juno is trying Chiron, so holy shit, is this some relationship truths, especially about what isn't working. Okay, again, honesty is a big deal here. Healing is possible through understanding and commitment and honesty and knowing that wounds are just part of the process. But if you ignore them, they fester, they get infected, and that's not what we want to do with this energy. Neptune is sextile Uranus, so insight is meeting breakthrough. I hope that this is a time frame where a lot of people can take dreams that they've kind of stuffed back and evolve them into something new. New methods for reaching those goals are possible. They can emerge. Chiron is also square Jupiter, and this is the building up energy of growing pains, healing via expansion, and emotional vulnerability leading to emotional liberation. I have to say this probably won't feel comfortable, but it is very much needed. So overall, today's energy is saying your next chapter requires honesty, primarily with yourself first. The moon in Virgo wants clarity. The Sag stellium wants truth. Neptune direct is like, okay, we got to purge some of that inner confusion. Saturn in the Scorpio decan in Cap de Watt wants accountability, and Mercury and Lilith want you to stop hiding the part of yourself that already knows the truth. You know what that is. And all of this is sitting inside that Sag rising energy saying, let's move, let's grow, let's go forward. So that's your daily drip for Thursday, December 11, 2025. And as a reminder, please be gentle with yourself. Be honest with yourself today. And don't be surprised if a truth, spoken or unspoken, pushes you right into your next chapter, because that's where you need to be. I love you.